Good morning. You know what they say about best made plans? They're bound to go wrong. So I've got to take Blady a walk, but I've got to take my mum's car for an MOT. So we're going to go a walk now. I drop the car off somewhere totally different to where I wanted to go, and I know this area, but I've never walked the trails on this side of Cycle Route 6. Look, we've got Rainworth, Clipston. Can you see that? Hold on. Up there. It's miles up in the air, can't reach it. So I've got this path and this path. I suspect, seeing as that's a concreted path, it'll take me back into the estate, even though it does say cycle route on it, but I can see houses, so I'm going to go this way. So I don't know where we're going to end up. I can't get lost. I've got this type of a built-in homing signal that always knows. I always know which way home is, which direction I've come from. So we should be fine. So we'll see what we can kind of find. This area I played around as a kid. Oops, sorry about this. I have to change hands. Yeah, I played around when I was a kid. Oh, he's gone past me. It's like a little stealth ninja, that dog. You turn round and you can't see him, and he's already walked past you. So this area was maybe farmland, just wild land as I was a kid, and the housing estate over there was being built when I was a kid, and we used to play all around it and get told off. One or two building sites I used to play on as a kid. But this area I'll probably come on my bike. There's a main road at the top. My mum used to work at the garage there, and on this side there was nothing but, I think, a farm, until the farmer, I think it was a farm or just a small holding, and there was a fire one night, and he got his wife, he went for help to get for his wife. She died in the fire, and he got killed trying to get across the road to the garage, which is a very sad story. So so I suppose that land was then built on, and I think it's his land where the industrial estate is, where I've just took the car, my mum's car, for its MOT. And over there is Tesco, and this is the loop road. Just here, you're not going to be able to see, because just there is a loop road that goes around the estate, and from me having my children, there was no houses built on that loop road. They built the Tesco, and they built some bungalows, which my grandma had got a flat on the further down, and then moved into these bungalows. But the rest of it weren't built until recently. It took them that long. So and up there is the rest of the industrial estate. So we're going into kind of unknown territory. I was looking on the map last night for routes, and the route that we're going to run comes out somewhere in this wooded area. So it'll be a bit of a extra recce for me, won't it? Right, I'll see you in a bit when I find out where I've got to. Well, I thought I'd give you a bit of info on tomorrow's walk, why I'm doing an extra filming session today. My mum's hat don't fit very well. I've had to borrow a hat because I went to quickly walk my mum's dog and I forgot to pick my hat up, so I've had to borrow a hat and scarf because it's absolutely freezing, but it's not quite so windy here. So yes, about tomorrow's walk. This area is quite a small area to have two pits at the side of each other. They're about a mile apart, and I told you about Clipston. Everybody calls them collieries, but local word for them is pit. So if I say pit, you know what I'm talking about. It means colliery for people that don't understand the Nottinghamshire slang words. So there was Clipston Colliery, and about a mile up the road there was Crown Farm Colliery. And Crown Farm Colliery was built, just excuse me checking on the dog. Crown Farms Colliery was built just before Clipston Colliery, and it was owned by the Bolsover Company. And I have got a photograph of the colliery not long after it was built, and I'll put that up in a minute. It was, I think, about 1909 that it was built, the Crown Farm Colliery or pit, and the Clipston pit was not built till 1922, but the land had been bought to build on and to sink the shafts, but the war started, so the colliery was postponed till after the war. So they used the land for the colliery for an army camp, and all that land where the headstocks is now and round Vickers Water, where I showed you on a video the other day, there was all soldiers. You know, when I told you about where I live is sandstone, and that's why the dogs bring loads of sand in. This is what I mean. Down a bit. There we are. I'll go a bit closer and show you exactly what I mean. Right, this is what I mean. You see it all breaking off? Sandstone. And Mansfield and surrounding area is built on sandstone. And this is where it gets wet, look, turns into red sand. So that's why my dogs bring so much in on the coats, and this ends up on my floor. Lovely. So I've just got to this bit of a road. I've got industrial buildings on both sides, and I thought I could hear the Bone Road. Southwell Road is over to my right, and come on, there is a road coming up. And so I'm heading in the direction of Rainworth, or as us locals call it, Renneth. So Renneth and Blideth are this away. And so I told you I'd know where I were, I wouldn't get lost. And all these paths have been built for part of a cycleway Didn't used to be here years ago. Right, here we are. We're on the turning. New Aldi's being built over there. Nice pub's been built. A load of more industrial units, which are mostly car places. And up here is Ransom Wood, and a quarry. And there used to be a Ransom Wood hospital up here. I'm not going to go straight down that path because I know it'll take me down to the big roundabout at the bottom. So I'm going to go into this, which is now an industrial estate, but it used to be Ransom Wood Hospital. And I can't remember what Ransom Wood Hospital used to have. I've got this funny feeling it was more of a mental hospital, but I might be wrong. I'm going to look it up because there's one or two little hospitals. It's like out of the way in the woods, so it was not like a normal hospital. So it says, "Welcome to Ransom Wood," and on the post on the other side there is Forever Green, which is a cafe and conference centre, and I did a wedding there once. Well, this is the original entrance from the main road up this way. So we're going to have a walk up here and look at Forever Green, which was a very nice place. If I remember rightly, it was a couple, very nice couple, that were, he was a vet, and why he sticks him in mind more than most people, he got 2 collies and he got married in a kilt. And it was a very nice wedding. My biggest problem was the whole place, the front of the place was covered in glass, and it was a bright sunny day, and they stood the bride and groom in front of this glass, and you when you're doing the service bit, they don't like you to use flash. So how you take photographs with sunlight beaming in behind the bride and groom without no flash is an art, I'll tell you. It's a good job I was a good photographer. Very difficult. My husband was having, at least I was close up. My husband was having very big problems from the back. But yes, very nice place. I'll show it you when we get to it. So this would have been the entrance to Harlowood Hospital, and the buildings are still there at the top. I can see them. So when I get a bit closer, I will film a bit more. As you can see, it's now a business park. That is Forever Green down there. Not the most prettiest of buildings to have a wedding in, but we'll walk down and show you. Wasn't too bad on a sunny day. And all them cars over there wouldn't have been there with it being a Saturday. Come on, we're going to go back this way. So this is part of the Holt Hospital. In fact, they're doing a good job of restoring it. The last time I actually came down here, it was dropping to bits. There is some newish buildings. I think over there, because there's a clock tower, there's an older building, but this one at the front's newer. You probably can't see it on the GoPro. I'm going to invest in a different camera for doing close-ups and stuff, because it doesn't really work. So we're going to have a wander down here and see what we can see down here, especially woods, but I've got an hour to while away the time before the car's done, so we've got all the way to walk back, so I don't have to go too far. But like you say, there's some new buildings, new building there, all hidden away in this woodland. So if I remember right, oops, sorry about this, the dog's pulling me. If I remember right, I think this was either a mental hospital or some sort of recuperation hospital, because it wasn't that big and it stuck out in the middle of the woods, out the way. So there is another hospital that's close to Mansfield town centre, but it's on a banking near all the posh houses, houses that would have been for the rich in the days they were built out of big stone. Really nice. Up there on a banking, there's another hospital up there, and then again as you go to Mansfield Woodhouse, up on a banking in the trees, there was another one. I think that one was for the miners though, for recovering after accidents and things. This place is very busy, loads of cars. Well, I thought I'd come to a car park, but I haven't. This is, well, it is a car park in one respect, but they're all new cars that's not got plates on. And there's absolutely loads of them. So I said it was they turned it into an industrial unit. I found a footpath, so I'll have a walk down here. Oh, there's a tent over there. Oh, might go and nosy what's going off over there. Whispering because it's a man. I don't know whether you can read that, but this says bushcraft at Ransom Wood. Oh, for all my bushcraft friends, this is interesting. We have found a bushcraft centre, a proper one. He does courses and all sorts. Come on, doggy. Let me check that it might just be the sun shining through. So this is where you can come and do bushcraft and get taught how to do it. And it's something to do with silverback bushcraft, I think. And I'll come over here and show you. And this is in Harlow Wood Industrial Estate. Here we are. Look.
Not Harlow Wood, Ransom Wood. Sorry.
For all my friends that like bushcraft. Fire making. Look at that. surprising what you find in the middle of a wood, isn't it? So this is quite interesting. And apparently he's made some trails off further up here. We might go and have a look. Better watch what time it is. I'll have been more than an hour at this rate. Been quite interesting. Oh, there's two of those little dens, bushcraft wooden shelter things. Really good. I'm pleased I come down here now and have a wander up this way, see what else I can find, eh? There's a phone number if you want to get in touch. Whether you can see all that, I hope I've got it all. Right, we'll go up this way now. Apparently, because I've been talking to a man about it, they've got another one in Lincoln Way, and they've got permission to go in a Forestry Commission wood and use up any of the deadfall that's around. So that's interesting to know. I think this man said it was about £70 a course, but don't take that as gospel, because that's what a man told me. You have to excuse me, but this dog lady does not want to come, and he's decided he's going to sniff somewhere. So anyway, we'll have a look on the internet when I get home, and I'll put one or two bits of information about them on the bottom of the screen or below in the comment section.
Just a bit of information, a few dates and prices to give you an idea of what this man does.
We're setting off back now, even though I found some more interesting places to go on the bike, which I can see some of these woods from the roads when you drive to different villages and stuff, and some of them woods I've never been in, so I might go and have a bit more of an adventure another day. Anyway, I've rung my mum to find out about the hospital. It was a TB hospital. And apparently my dad's uncle was in there, and the building across, the big brick building that looked very grandeur, my mum used to work for Blackwell's Building Company. I don't know whether that's the exact name, but anyway, it was called Blackwell's, and she worked in the office, and that company built that building. Not the hospital, the other one, and it was called Sherwood. Oh, I forgot what she said now. Something Homes. It was built for the people that was in ransom to live in after they come out of ransom as they were getting better. And because she came up to pay the builders the wages one week, so she's been telling me all about it. So I've been walking around listening to a bit of history, so that was quite interesting, and that place I'd never even heard of before, so my mum told me a bit more things I didn't know. So I'm going to go back. My video's about to run out of charge. I have got another one in my pocket, but I think that's about enough for today, because it's only going to be the same back, and we better make a move on, because I bet I've been hours. So quite interesting. lady found a little dog to play with that lived in the houses over, found a nice little pond, and apparently the I don't know where to go up, we'll go up this way. Apparently there's must be a hole in the fence or something, because when the owner shouted him, he went charging back, and I could see in the other side of the fence, so he must know a way to get in and out. So I might video from this side of this building, and this is the building that my mum was telling me about, in a minute, if I don't run out of charge. There we are, look, that's the clock tower. And my mum just assumed it was a housing estate from what they called it. But it's called Ransom Horse House now. But I think this was the place that my mum went. It's got a nice clock tower. Very nice. Well, I'm on my other camera now because battery's run out. So that building was built above 55 years ago, more probably 60 years ago, because it was before my mum and dad got married, and they were married 10 years before they had me, so probably more 70 years ago that was built. So I don't know how long I've been out. I bet I've been out a couple of hours, walked miles, and bang goes my gym day. Well, I'll have to do gym day. It's either gym or yoga. So I've got to go and do something when I get back. Can't miss out on my gym day. So I think that's it. And see you tomorrow for the planned walk, Wednesday walk. This is the unplanned Tuesday walk.